Hello, viewers out there. Thank you for joining us today on our segment today, which is Tech and Gadgets Corner. My name is Olusegun Olabode Ajakai, and I'm the Sales Director, Head of Sales in Uranus Technology. It's such a pleasure to always have our listeners listening to us. And today we'll be talking about my journey so far within the tech world. Interestingly, I try as much as possible not to call myself a tech expert or a cybersecurity expert, but I take myself as a business leader. And interestingly for me, how I started my journey was, I remember back in the days, I had, parents who were willing to train their kids and let them be street ready. And that's the important lesson which I've learned over the years, because being street ready helps you to be street smart whilst you're also trying to be book smart as well too. I started my journey as a teacher, and I remember back in the days where my salary was 6,000 naira. And interestingly for me, it was not about the amount I was collecting on the job, but the fact that I was impacting kids who I was grooming back then to become great kids right now. And for me, it speaks to the fact that whatever you lay your hands to do, what I always say is this: do it so well and let it be something you're so proud about. I remember back then I was, as a teacher, and I was teaching primary 5 and primary 6. And for me, it was such an amazing journey because I knew down the line where I want to be, and put in your heart and your mind to it. Like I always tell people out there, the journey within the IT or the tech ecosystem or the cybersecurity ecosystem or across all IT fields, you don't have to be someone who probably studied computer science to find yourself or fit into the IT or the tech world today. I studied business administration from Lagos State University. And the interesting part about it is that I was lucky to meet business leaders who were willing to invest in me. And for me, what I want everyone to learn from this conversation today is around the power of mentorship. Because when you have the right mentors, the right people who will invest in you, investing doesn't necessarily have to be the financial aspect, but investing their time. So what I would say to all youth out there, all teenagers out there, all Nigerian youth out there is this: try as much as possible to find someone, one person, and be willing to volunteer. And I think I always call myself the volunteer addict. I've been a member of Yali, I'm a member of Toastmasters, several communities. I just invest time in volunteering because I strongly believe for me to enter into any community, whatsoever community it is, let me just invest my time and volunteer. And I say, don't pay me. But the reason why we are always too quick to gratify ourselves financially is we don't understand the principle of delayed gratification. So what I will say out there is this: whoever you are listening to this program, try as much as possible to have a willing spirit to volunteer in any capacity whatsoever it is. What I did when I left being a teacher, right? I joined another organization called Concept Culture back then, and I was working within a brand consulting firm. And for me, I believe anywhere you find yourself, try as much as possible to learn a skill, learn something that will probably springboard you into the next level of your life. Because no knowledge is a waste. Everybody you work with, try as much as possible to gather so many skills or a little knowledge from them. Let that impact your life to be able to take you to the next level of your life. And I think for me, I became an executive assistant. I co-founded a community of C-suite executive assistants in Nigeria. And these are like top-notch executive assistants, which is still standing up until today. I was giving my all. When I was an EA back then, I was involved with project management, involved with strategy, involved in several initiatives for the organization. And what I was doing at that particular point in time is to learn everything. So I always tell people, learn as much as you can learn, because whatever skill you gather today will always help you in your next journey in life. Even in career or your day-to-day activities, try as much as possible to gather enough skill. For me, I'm someone who is always an advocate of being street smart. Yes, you can be book smart, but being street smart helps you to be prepared for what lies ahead. So a situation whereby the book you've read in school is not working, then you try as much as possible to adopt the street smart ideology or mentality to help you adapt to any environment you find yourself. And whatever you can learn, try as much as possible to find a mentor, someone who will hold your hand or who will give you, even if it is 5 minutes of their time. There's a particular time in my journey where, as an executive assistant, I asked myself one simple question. How many companies in Nigeria, or probably because that was my current situation, will be able to afford how much I was earning as an executive assistant? I was at a crossroad at that particular point in time. And what I did, I just checked through my contacts. I spoke to my mentor by name Kiari Buka. He's someone who I hold so much in high esteem. I just called him and I said, sir, what do I need to do to move to the next level in my career? And he said, Shegun, what you're afraid of right now is what you need to transition you to the next level of your career. And he was able to unravel so many mysteries around what will take me to the next level of my career. And interestingly, there's a guy called Kingsley Osegale. He's been telling me, Shegun, you have to be a salesman. And I said, no, I'm afraid of targets. But guess what? Right now, I'm a sales leader. All those little advices I got from those people, Charles Idusoge is also someone I remember so well, who has helped me also to shape my career. Femi Adeoti is someone who is exceptional within the tech ecosystem. Oyindamola Adeyemi is also someone who I hold so in high esteem. So these are people who have helped to shape my life. So what I will tell you out there, either in your church, in your mosque, in your house, in your community, any uncle, any brother, anybody you see out there who you think you can actually look up to as a mentor, try as much as possible to find yourself around such community of people who will influence you to become who you should be. Because at the end of the day, the little 5 minutes advice those people will give to you can help transform your life to become the exceptionally brilliant or great person you want to be in the future. I think you've been able to learn something from me today. Join us during our next episode and follow us also across our social media channels at Galaxy TV. Feel free to also follow me. I am Body of Lagos on TikTok and also on LinkedIn, Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned one or two things today.